Poland's Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Defense Władysław Kosiniak-Kamysz proudly talks about Poland's success in the field of security. Meanwhile, flagship armament programs are being cancelled or bogged down in bureaucracy, as illustrated by the withdrawal from the purchase of Black Hawk helicopters and the delays in the Orca program. In the face of growing threats to the east, why is Polish military development stalling? At the end of last November, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Defense Władysław Kosiniak-Kamysz said that advancing the Orca submarine program was a priority for his government, led by the so-called December 13th coalition. According to Rzeczpospolita, negotiations on the program have reached a dead end. There was supposed to be a decision, there was supposed to be an agreement, there was supposed to be a fleet, but the ports remain as empty as ever. It appears that it may not be possible to sign an agreement for procurement. Perhaps only a framework agreement will be achievable. The construction of a modern submarine fleet remains perpetually in the planning phase. It should be possible to at least identify which countries the submarines will be sourced from. The sea remains unsecured, and the air isn't better off. On May 26th, before the second round of the presidential election, the decision was made to cancel the contract for the procurement of American Black Hawk helicopters. Tender cancellation. The contracting authority, the State Treasury Armament Agency, cancels the public procurement procedure for the delivery of S-70I multi-role support helicopters. Justification. The contracting authority cancels the procedure if there has been a significant change in circumstances, which means that conducting the procedure or performing the contract is not in the public interest, which could not have been foreseen earlier. The Russians doubtlessly celebrated this development. What is really behind the decision to not procure the Black Hawk helicopters? Aversion to the region they'd be stationed in, Podkarpacie, aversion to the Polish economy, and an aversion to the United States. These elements, plus the fact that the economy is in shambles. Meanwhile, during exercises at Polish training grounds, not a single shot was fired from the modern K9 self-propelled howitzers, which were supposed to serve in units, yet remained conspicuously absent. The K9 self-propelled howitzers will probably not appear, and I would not be surprised if German Panzer 2000 self-propelled howitzers appeared instead, because that is how Donald Tusk's government conducts its policy. It can be said that contracts that are important from the point of view of defense are not being pursued. Polish security was to be ensured by Korean K2 tanks, the first batches of which arrived in Poland during the Law and Justice government. But there will be far fewer of them than initially planned. In terms of the number of units purchased, we were talking about a total of 1,000 tanks, not only in the batch that was purchased, but also those that were to be made in the future. The vast majority of the tanks were to be adapted to the specific nature of the Polish battlefield. Tank deliveries are to continue, but are encountering resistance. Perhaps the Ministry of Defense will at least work to ensure the delivery of HIMARS launchers. The agreement provided for the possibility of Poland purchasing up to 486 launchers, but about 20 were delivered. Currently, we know nothing about the details of the implementation agreement, and the only deliveries that have been made are those that were made in 2023. That is, under the previous government. Meanwhile, Minister Władysław Kosiniak-Kamysz is sugarcoating reality by boasting about the achievements of the December 13th coalition. East Shield, the largest operation to strengthen the eastern border, construction of fortifications, drone forces, Operation Szpej, over 100 contracts have been signed. The situation in the Polish army may cause justified concern. Contracts are either not being pursued or are outright cancelled, and deliveries are coming in at a snail's pace. In 2024, out of the 158 billion zlotys allocated in the budget, 137 were spent, so this money was just recorded. Unless early elections are called, this stagnation of Polish military potential may last for 2 more years.